3 days and 3 nights is taken literal. 3 actual days and 3 actual nights in a literal way. For the idea that Christ was not crucified on Friday, but crucified on Wednesday. False teachings usually are based on a handful of texts, pillars, for whatever false teaching that exists. So it's important to be able to identify them. This is a point that many times is used. I want to look at it briefly as well. Matthew 12:40. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. This is a pillar text for the idea that Christ was not crucified on Friday, but crucified on Wednesday. And the understanding is this: 3 days and 3 nights is taken literal. 3 actual days and 3 actual nights in a literal way. Now I want to look at that in the context, the greater context of the scripture. What does that mean? This is something that I've come across time and again. And the reason why I conclude this is the pillar verse, because usually this is one of the first ones that come up when talking about that idea. What does, my point here is simply this: what does Jesus mean when he said 3 days and 3 nights? I want to show you a few examples from the Bible, and you'll see it for yourself. You don't need me to explain it. Genesis 7:12. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. A little later it says, in verse 17, and the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. Question: 40 days and 40 nights, and 40 days over here. Is that a different period? Is that a longer period or a shorter period? It's exactly the same. 40 days and 40 nights is the same as saying 40 days. Here's a New Testament example. Jesus in the wilderness, Matthew 4:2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. In Mark it says, verse 13 of chapter 1, and he was there in the wilderness 40 days, tempted of Satan, and was with the wild beasts, and the angels ministered unto him. Again, same thing. How long was Jesus in the wilderness? 40 days and 40 nights, or 40 days. It's exactly the same, identical. And so when Jesus says 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth, it's exactly the same as saying 3 days elsewhere. So someone said, well, why did he say nights? He emphasized nights. He's saying 3 days and 3 nights. You know why he said 3 nights? Because he was quoting from Jonah. And in Jonah it says 3 days and 3 nights. He could have been quoting from Mark, the equivalent. You with me? Because Jonah records it as 3 days and 3 nights. He says, I'm going to give you the sign of Jonah, and he quotes Jonah. Jonah could have very easily said 3 days, and it would mean exactly the same thing, exactly the same time. So, over literalizing that and reading it in a way out of context with everything else, the scripture and the examples that are used is a little deviation there that leads to a false conclusion.
If you like this clip and you want deeper insights, then you can watch the full message by clicking here. And if you want to study the Bible with me and strengthen your faith, then join me and enroll at the Bible Academy right here. I'll see you there.